discussion of the front of the thigh, we have reflected the skin of the front of the thigh, which are the structure in superficial to the front of the thigh. There are cutaneous nerve inside the front of the thigh. Here you can see this is the lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. It is formed by the branch of lumbar plexus L2 L3. It passes deep to the inguinal ligament. Here there is an anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle. There is a most lower fiber of the external oblique, anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle, most lower fiber of the external oblique, which is uprolled and it makes the inguinal ligament. It is the upper boundary of the front of the thigh. So this lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh, it passes below to the inguinal ligament and it supplies the skin over the front of the thigh on the lateral aspect of the front of the thigh. And sometimes which is compressions which is occur particularly in obese person or inside the pregnant woman, and it lead to there is a compression of this lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. It lead to there is a meralgia paresthetica and there is a loss of sensation over the lateral side of the front of the thigh. Another nerve we can see here, this is the intermediate cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Here you can see this is the intermediate cutaneous nerve of the thigh, and the most medially this nerve, this is the medial cutaneous nerve of the thigh. These are the three main cutaneous nerve on the front of the thigh: medial, intermediate and lateral cutaneous nerve of the thigh. So medial and intermediate and medial cutaneous nerve of the thigh, which supplies the skin over the front of the thigh, major portion of the front of the thigh, which is supplied by the mainly lower aspect, upper 1/3, which is supplied by the genital branch of genitofemoral nerve. Here you can see this is the genital branch of femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, which supplies the skin over the femoral triangle. So this is the femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, which innervate the cutaneous distributions over the femoral triangle. Remaining cutaneous distribution over the front of the thigh, which is supplied by the intermediate cutaneous nerve, and this is the medial cutaneous nerve of the thigh. So this is the medial cutaneous nerve and this is the intermediate cutaneous nerve of the thigh. Another nerve over the medial aspect, it is the ilioinguinal nerve. Here you can see this is the ilioinguinal nerve. It distributes the skin over the medial side of the upper anterior aspect of the scrotum and medial side of the thigh, which is supplied by the ilioinguinal nerve. It come out from the superficial inguinal rings. So, and another superficial structure inside the front of the thigh, it is a great saphenous vein. Previously we have discussed about on the right side. Now we will deep structure we will see on the left side of the front of the thigh. Now first of all we discuss about the femoral triangle and the roof of the femoral triangle. It is formed by the great saphenous vein. This is a great saphenous vein. This great saphenous vein, which is open inside the femoral vein. So inside the roof of the femoral triangle, it is formed by the great saphenous vein, and previously we already discussed there are cutaneous nerve, mainly intermediate, medial cutaneous nerve, femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve and superficial inguinal lymph node. These are the structure, and skin, superficial fascia and deep fascia. It makes the this is the fascia lata. Here you can see this is the fascia lata, which enclose the whole of the thigh. Stocking in nature, it completely enclosed throughout the thigh. So these are the structure which makes the superficial structure or roof of the femoral triangle. Once again, the roof of the femoral triangle, which is formed by the great saphenous vein, three cutaneous nerve we already discussed, medial and intermediate cutaneous nerve, as well as there is a femoral branch of genitofemoral nerve, and over the medial side there is a ilioinguinal nerve. So these are the, and superficial inguinal lymph node are the transverse and vertical groove. These are the structure which makes the roof of the femoral triangle. Now the boundary of the femoral triangle, here you can see this is the, we have removed the deep fascia, and just medially you can see this is the adductor longus, medial border of the adductor longus, which makes the medial boundary of the femoral triangle. Laterally it is bounded by the sartorius, by the medial border of the sartorius. This is the medial border of the sartorius, which makes the lateral boundary of the femoral triangle, and base, which is formed by the inguinal ligament, and this inguinal ligament which start from anterior superior iliac spine to the pubic tubercle, and this is the most lower fiber. This forceps, it is the inguinal ligament. It is the most lower fiber of the external oblique, which makes the base of the femoral triangle. So base, which is formed by the inguinal ligament, medially it is formed by the medial border of the adductor longus, and laterally it is bounded by the medial border of the sartorius muscle. So these are the structure which makes the boundaries of the femoral triangle. Apex, it is the meeting point of the adductor longus and sartorius. Now the floor of the femoral triangle, we have reflect the this is the floor which is formed by the adductor longus. Just lateral to the adductor longus, this muscle, it is the pectineus, and between the just lateral to the pectineus there is a muscle, it is the psoas major, and most laterally this muscle, it is the laterally it is the iliacus muscle. So medial to lateral boundary, the structure forming the floor of the femoral triangle are the adductor longus, pectineus, and lateral to it there is a psoas major, and most laterally there is a iliacus muscles. This is the iliacus muscles. So these are the structure which makes the floor of the femoral triangle. Content of the femoral triangle, here you can see femoral vessels. This is the femoral vein, this is the femoral artery, and this is the femoral nerve. But femoral sheath which enclose the only the femoral vessels, and it divides into the femoral sheath. Anteriorly it is formed by the fascia, continuation of the fascia transversalis, which makes the anterior layer of the femoral sheath. Posterior layer of the femoral sheath, which is the fascia coming from the iliacus, it is called the fascia iliaca. Both are merged and it makes a femoral sheath. We have already removed the femoral sheath, but femoral sheath, lateral compartment contains the femoral artery, intermediate compartment it contains the femoral vein, and most medial compartment which is remain empty, and it is also called the femoral canal, but we have removed the femoral sheath, so that's why you cannot see here the femoral sheath. But it is upper 2 to 3 centimeter which enclose the femoral vessels, and which the main function of this femoral sheath, which prevents the frictions between the inguinal ligament and femoral vessels. So it helps in gliding the moments of the during the flexion and extension of the hip joints. So it prevents the friction between the femoral vessel and inguinal ligaments. The structure inside the femoral triangle are the femoral nerve. Here you can see on the we have removed the cutaneous branch. Here we have cut the medial and intermediate cutaneous nerve, but we will see the all the other branches. Anterior division, it gives the nerve to sartorius. This is the nerve to sartorius, and it also gives the medial and intermediate cutaneous nerve of the thigh. The posterior division of the femoral nerve, here you can see this is the femoral nerve. The fiber which is directly goes to the rectus femoris. This is the rectus femoris. The nerves which is goes to the, here you can see this is the vastus lateralis. This is the branch to vastus lateralis, which is goes to the vastus lateralis. This is now to intermedialis, and this is now to vastus medialis. This is the now to vastus medialis, which is goes to the vastus medialis muscle. This is the vastus medialis. Here you can see this is now to vastus medialis, which is goes to the vastus medialis. Now to vastus intermedialis. This is the vastus intermedialis. It goes to the vastus intermedialis. It also supplies to the articular genu. This is the now to vastus lateralis. This supplies to the directly goes to the vastus lateralis, and this is now to rectus femoris. And the longest cutaneous nerve which goes along with the femoral vessels, it is the saphenous nerve, and it supplies the skin over the medial side of the leg. Skin over the medial side of the leg up to the great toe. So it is the saphenous nerve. It gives the one infrapatellar branch over the knee, cutaneous branch. Now femoral artery, you can see here, this is the femoral artery. It is a continuation of the external iliac artery below to the inguinal ligament, and it is end at the hiatus magnus. It becomes continuous as a, this is the hiatus magnus, and it becomes continuous, it goes posteriorly, it becomes continuous as a popliteal artery. It has a course inside the femoral triangle. This is the course inside the femoral triangle, as well as it is below to the sartorius. It is called the subsartorial canal. So into the middle 1/3 it is lies inside the adductor canal, and above 1/3 it is lies inside the femoral triangle. So femoral artery, it is a continuation of external iliac artery. It lies inside the femoral sheath on the lateral aspect into the lateral compartment, and intermediate compartment it contains the femoral vein, and medial compartment it contains empty, it contains only one lymph node, it is a Broca's lymph nodes. Laterally the femoral artery which is related with the femoral nerve, here you can see this is the femoral nerve, and directly this femoral artery, it gives the three branches, superficial three branches. This is the first branch, it is called the superficial external pudendal epigastric. Here you can see it goes towards the abdomen. The artery which goes towards the anterior superior iliac spine, it is the superficial circumflex iliac. This is the, here there is a two artery. This is the superficial external pudendal, and this one is the deep external pudendal, superficial external pudendal, and this is the deep external pudendal. The largest branch of the femoral artery, it is the profunda femoris artery. Here you can see this is a profunda femoris artery, and this profunda femoris artery, initially it gives the one branch on the lateral aspect, and it divides, either it divides to the femoral nerve into the anterior and posterior division, or it may passes behind to the femoral nerve. Here it passes behind to the femoral nerve. It is the lateral circumflex femoral artery. This profunda femoris artery, on the lower aspect here you can see this is the continuation of the profunda femoris artery, and this is the medial circumflex femoral artery. Here you can see this is the medial circumflex femoral artery. It passes between the pectineus and psoas major muscles, and then it passes between the pectineus and adductor longus and brevis, and it goes posteriorly medial to the neck of the femur, and it anastomosis makes the circumflex around to the neck of the femur, and it anastomosis with the lateral circumflex femoral artery. And this is the continuations of the profunda femoris artery. It gives the three perforating branch, one above to the adductor brevis, another is the one is above to the adductor brevis, then behind to the adductor brevis, and one below to the adductor brevis, and fourth one is it is continuous inside the back of the thigh, and it makes the anastomosis around to the knee joints. So this one is the continuation of the profunda femoris artery. This is the medial circumflex femoral artery, you can see, and here on that aspect this is the lateral circumflex. This is the continuations of the profunda femoris artery, and this is the profunda femoris vein. This is the femoral vein. Now one inside the femoral nerve, directly gives branches to the pectineus. This is the nerve to pectineus, which is coming from directly from the trunk. It supplies to the pectineus, and also it supplies to the iliacus, which is just above to the inguinal ligament. So we cannot see here. So this is about to the femoral triangle. This is the rectus femoris. Rectus femoris have a two head. Now we will discuss about the muscles of the femoral triangle. The sartorius, which arises from the anterior superior iliac spine, and it is inserted on the medial surface of the upper part of the tibia, and most anteriorly there is a sartorius, behind to it there is a gracilis, and posteriorly there is a semitendinosus, and it makes the gyrops. So upper part of the medial surface of the tibia, there is a insertion of the sartorius muscles. Another muscles, adductor longus. This is the adductor longus, which arise, all the muscles which arise from the pubis on the outer aspect, and adductor longus, which is also arise from the pubic, between the pubic crest and pubic symphysis, and it is inserted on the middle 1/3 of the shaft of the linea aspera, between the vastus medialis and adductor brevis. So this is the medial boundary of the adductor longus. This is the rectus femoris. Here you can see this is the rectus femoris. This one is the vastus medialis, and this one is the vastus lateralis. This is the vastus lateralis muscles, and this one is the vastus intermedialis muscles. Now we can reflect the adductor longus. You can see this is the anterior division of the obturator nerve. Here you can see it come out. This is the anterior division of the obturator nerve. Below to the adductor longus, you can see this is the adductor brevis, and behind to the adductor brevis, you can see this is the posterior division of the obturator nerve. And this obturator nerve, which pierces to the fiber of the obturator externus. This is the fiber of the obturator externus, and this is the adductor magnus muscles. This is the medial compartment muscles. Here you can see this is the gracilis muscle, which is the most superficial muscles of the medial compartment. So this one is the gracilis, this one is the adductor magnus, this one is the adductor brevis, and between the brevis and magnus there is a anterior division of the obturator nerve, and between the brevis and adductor longus, this is the anterior division of the obturator nerve, and this one is the adductor longus. And just lateral to these adductor muscles, this is the pectineus muscles, and and this one is the most below to the femoral vastus. This is the psoas major muscles, and laterally there is iliacus muscles. So this is about to the femoral triangle. Swelling inside the femoral triangle. One is the dilatation of the femoral artery or femoral vein. It is called the aneurysm. This is the great saphenous vein. Sometimes always there is a presence of saphenofemoral wall at the junction where the opening of the great saphenous vein inside the femoral vein. This junction there is always presence of wall. Incompetency of this wall, it leads to there is a dilatations of the terminal part of the great saphenous vein. It is called the saphena varix. Sometimes untrained person riding the horse, at that times there is a this muscle adductor longus and particularly adductor magnus, which is tear, and it leads to there is a hematoma, and hematoma convert into the bonds. It is called the Ryder's bonds. Sometimes there is a this is the below to the femoral vessels there is a psoas major, but it arises from the abdomen, from the transverse process of the L1 to L5, and it is inserted on the lesser trochanter of the femur. So, but due to the gravity, any abscess inside the psoas major, there is a swelling inside the femoral triangle. Even ectopic testis, normally the testis which is descendant from the iliac fossa to the deep inguinal ring, to the inguinal canal, to the superficial inguinal ring, and then it goes to the scrotum. Wherever, if it is remain into the normal route, if it is remain into the deep inguinal ring, it remain inside the inguinal canal or superficial inguinal ring, then it is called the undescended. But if it is deviated inside the femoral triangle, then it is called the ectopic testis. So swelling inside the femoral triangle are the ectopic testis, femoral aneurysm, Ryder's bones, saphenous varix. Then there is a enlargement of the lymph node, inguinal lymph node. It may be primary or it may be secondary. There is a SUA sepsis, ectopic pregnancy, and here you can see this femoral vessels, femoral artery, which crosses from lateral to medial side inside the adductor canal. So initially inside the femoral canal, femoral artery lies lateral to the femoral vein, but inside the apex of the femoral triangle, artery lies anterior to the femoral veins, and inside the subsartorial canal, artery lies medial to the femoral vein. So femoral vein lies laterally, while the femoral artery which crosses from lateral to medial sides. So adductor canal, which is bounded above by the sartorius, above and medial it is bounded by the sartorius, below it is bounded by the adductor longus as well as adductor magnus, and or posteriorly it is bounded by the adductor longus and adductor magnus. Superiorly and medially it is bounded by the sartorius. Laterally it is bounded by the vastus medialis. The content are the saphenous nerve, femoral vessels, and now to vastus medialis. Here you can see this is now to vastus medialis, and also twing from the femoral twing from the obturator nerve. These are the content of the adductor canal. So adductor canal, it is into the middle 1/3 of the femoral triangle, below to the sartorius. It is also called the Hunter's canal. So it is subsartorial canal. Above and superiorly it is bounded by the sartorius. Below and either floor it is formed by the adductor longus and magnus. Laterally it is bounded by the vastus medialis, and content are the saphenous nerve, femoral vessels, now to vastus medialis, and twing from the obturator nerve are the content of the subsartorial canals. Modification of deep fascia. We have already removed the fascial artery. This is a fascial artery. You can see laterally there is a thickening of this fascial artery. It is called the iliotibial tract, and it gives the insertion of the tensor fascial artery muscles, and also it gives the insertion of the gluteus maximus from the posterior aspect. Medially there is a opening inside the fascial artery where there is a great saphenous vein which is pierced. It is called the saphenous opening, and this is the second modification of the fascial artery. And third modification of the fascial artery, which divides, there is a deepening. It goes inside the deep and it divides the thigh into the three compartments. Just above to the adductor longus there is a one septum. It is called the medial intermuscular septum. Lateral to the vastus laterally there is a one septum. It is called the lateral intermuscular septum, and posterior intermuscular septum. So thigh is divided into three compartments by the three septa: medial intermuscular septa, lateral intermuscular septa, and posterior intermuscular septa. So lateral compartment, medial compartment, and posterior compartment of the thigh.